Last year, I made a video called Steal These Licks, pentatonic licks, easy to hard to weird, and a lot of you guys loved that video and have been requesting lessons like that since. And today we're doing exactly that, except today we're focusing on the major scale specifically, the position that we all know and love. And the sole purpose of today's lesson is not to give you loads of different scales and techniques necessarily. That will come as a side effect, I think. The sole purpose of this lesson is transferable knowledge, transferable skills that you can apply to current scales that you already know besides this one that we're focusing on today, but also any new ones that you will learn later down the line. All you need to do to follow this lesson is be tuned to standard tuning. Do me a huge favor before we get started, like and subscribe. You'll be doing me a huge favor. The position we're going to be working out of today is the first position of the major scale in G major. The first thing you could do would be simply run up the scale really quickly and end on the final note with some flourish, which can be useful, but it doesn't really show off the harmonic quality of each note. One thing that you can do which helps apply more of a shreddy feel but also pays more attention to the notes in the scale would be to go up in a group of 6. And this time I'm picking everything. Good one for you picking. Then do the same coming back down. Really cool, try that one. Groups of 4 is always good. It really helps you get the most out of so little, i.e. one shape. Here we go. Really cool. It takes ages, and then coming down it's really cool as well. I'm gonna end on some Randy Rhoads stuff if you feel so inclined. One little technical pointer here actually is when you are playing the G string and B string, 7th fret and 5th fret, is I flatten a finger to suit the pattern rather than replace it with 2 fingers. That kind of idea. Make sure you take that on board and give that a whirl. Sticking with the Randy Rhoads theme, this is a really good one to learn. I borrowed this from Flying High again and just put it into this scale to suit the lesson. What's really cool there as well is it doesn't really require a lot of picking. I'm only picking the first note of each string, and then when I'm transferring across to another string, if that makes sense, to bridge the gap. See if you can see it there. Sounds really, really nice. It's great for giving your runs a little bit more flow. And if you alternate pick all of that, you get the same pattern that you would have at the end of the Bark at the Moon solo with palm muting. Really cool. Give that a shot. Now for some legato stuff. We are taking a really simple pattern, which is this, then applying it to the entire scale. I'm only picking the first note of each string. It's one that makes you sound like a really, really confident player. And if you up the tempo a little bit and apply some palm muting, you get a little bit of a Nuno Bettencourt type sound. Well worth it, give that one a go. Here's a cool run I picked up from Dweezil Zappa of all people, and it goes like so. This one's great. It starts off with the middle note, if you like, hammer onto the highest note on the string, then pull off to the lowest, then back to the highest. And it's a really great way of rearranging the notes in the scale to create a cool effect. Apply that with some of the other ideas and you've got something really cool. Time for some groups of 2. I've taught this before, but I want to throw it into this video as well for good measure, and it goes like so. Then back down in 2s. Now for a Steve Vai style one. And what's going on here is we're incorporating a little bit of bending. I'm starting off on the 7th fret of the high E and I'm doing a very, very quick half step bend. Down to the 5th fret there, over to the B string. We're then playing 8th fret on the B and then 7th fret on the B, but we've got that same bending technique there. Down to the 5th fret on the B there. Proceed down the scale. Then we get to the G string there, 4th fret. Apply the same bending technique. And then I'm throwing on there just a little phrase there to complete the lick. I'm going root note to reaffirm the G major quality of the lick. Excuse me. Really cool, so add that to your phrasing. Not so much a run, but an idea that you can use. This is a great pattern to take on board, and both legato and alternate picking approaches are relevant here. So we will start with picking. We're gonna go on each string. Then add some speed. Then if you add some legato, it starts to morph back into that Joe Satriani, Steve Vai vibe, and it goes like so. Sorry, I'm getting carried away with some bends. But the main thing here in terms of legato technique is to prioritize the pull-offs to give you volume, a little bit of muting technique, and then when transferring over to the next string, make sure that first hammer-on is on point. Really cool, really great for getting your flow on. Getting a little more difficult now. Here's another Randy Rhoads style one, and it goes like so. Then we apply that to the rest of the scale. It's so nice because what it forces you to do is get the left and right hand to work really, really efficiently. I'm picking very little, but where it's needed. So, first note, pull off, hammer on, pull off, pick, pick. A super cool idea, and I think you'll find a skill like that takes you an awful long way, or a lick like that takes you an awful long way. As I said before, it gets both the left and right hand to work together really effectively. Here's one inspired by Andy James. I love this, it's so melodic. Like all good things, it's over way too fast. Well, let me show you this one. So what you've got there is the root note, then the little finger stretches out to the D string there, 7th fret. The middle finger goes to the D string there, 5th fret. Excuse me, it's a D note, the A string, 5th fret. Then we've got G4 and 7, then D7. Next one is B5 and 8, G7, then high E, 5, 8, 7. Really, really nice. Really great for starting off your licks. You could do a similar thing actually, but you borrow notes from the position below instead, so you don't end quite as high. Same thing as before. You then reach for B3. So you're playing a B minor triad there. There you go. Try that in the name of fun. This next one is like a lot of the licks in this lesson in the sense that it's not designed to be as disciplined as alternate picking, but still allows the left and right hands to work very effectively with one another. And it goes like so. Let me break that down slowly. Really cool. And if you apply that to a descending run like the fours one that we talked about before, really, really nice. And another cool thing about this pattern actually, it's basically breaking the scale up into triads. In this case, you're starting off with the root, then it goes into like an A minor triad found within the G major scale, D major, there's the G major one. There you've got whatever the hell that is. Really good one to throw into your arsenal there. And then with that particular pattern, you can apply it to going up in octaves as well. So let's break away from G major and maybe go to A minor for a second. You might have... There you go. Before I get carried away, I'll leave you with that one. Last one, here we go. This one will be some people's nightmare because it involves a little bit of sweep picking, but it's actually rather easy to remember. You've got one picking pattern to learn and a couple of positions, that's it. And for the observant among you as well, yes, I did break my own rules slightly. I'm borrowing some notes from the scale position below, but who cares? We're having fun. So, we are starting off on the 3rd fret of the low E with a downstroke. Hammer on to 7, then we've got downstroke on A5, downstroke again on D4, then upstroke on D7. Practice those groups of notes over and over to get the whole thing comfortable. Then, we then add an extra group of notes, and it's exactly the same fret numbers, picking pattern and all, except we're starting on the 3rd fret of the A. That's what you should get. Then the next position is very similar under the fingers, and it's the same picking pattern. We're starting off on D4, hammer on to 7, G5, then it's B3 and B7. Then the same pattern is applied again, except you're starting on G4, and just follow through with the same fret numbers. Really, really nice. You can come down with this as well, but it's a little bit awkward. But one thing I recommend with this is using this ascending pattern to maybe go into some other licks. It sounds really, really interesting. So. Thanks very much for watching this video, you guys. I hope you've liked what you've seen. Please make sure you like and subscribe, as I said before, and I'll catch you again in the next video. Bye-bye.